Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 on this here channel. Hi, here on ETCG1 we talk about stuff, we don't do repair videos, so if you're looking for repair videos, there'll be a link in the description of my Eric the Car Guy channel. You can go there and watch all the repair videos you like. However, if you wish to stick around and join in the conversation, I welcome you to do so. And hey, if it's your birthday, happy birthday. The topic came to me on my way to the shop the other day, and that I'm driving along, minding my own business. It's a 2-lane road. Well, it's a 4-lane road. 2 lanes going in the same direction. I'm in the right-hand lane, and this lady pretty much just pulls right over into my lane. I have to slam onto the brakes. Like, what is going on here? Well, I honked my horn. She moved out of the way. I got up beside her, and what do I see? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just thinking, really? I mean, really? Now, am I going to say that I'm above talking on the phone while I'm driving on the road? Absolutely not. I've talked on the phone plenty of times. Usually I have an earpiece. I like having hands-free. I don't like having the phone in my ear, but somebody calls or I don't have the earpiece handy, something like that. I'm picking up the phone, I'm talking on the phone. But this goes beyond it. This is like texting when driving. This is basically distracted drivers. And, you know, I pulled up alongside of her and I'm like, get off the phone. Because obviously I didn't feel that she was capable of talking on the phone and driving at the same time, which was evident by her actions. Now, we've talked a little bit in the past about vehicles that drive themselves, that type of thing. Well, hey, in that instance, I'm all for it. I'm not saying her phone conversation wasn't important, but it certainly was interfering with my day. And that's where I think the line gets drawn. I am sad to report that there was an instance when I was driving down the highway one time, and I passed a guy in a Volvo. I remember the car and everything. We're driving down the highway in a construction zone, so we got Jersey barriers on the left, and then just, you know, the railroad tie guardrail kind of thing on the right. And I passed him, and I could see that, you know, he was driving and doing this while I was driving. And it wasn't a few minutes after, not even a minute or so after I passed him, I was in the left lane and I moved past him, that I heard a pop, a big, huge bang sound. And I look in my rearview mirror, and apparently he had drifted over to the right, and instead of, it was sort of a break in that barrier that was on the right, and he went smack into that barrier. The back end of his car came out and hit the car next to him that sent that one into the Jersey barrier and caused probably about a 6-car pileup as a result. That was something I hope I never see again. And it was a result of distracted driving. And that's something that, you know, there've been a lot of television campaigns about. There's been a lot of stuff out there lately about dealing with this type of situation. This isn't so much a PSA as it is, what are your experiences with distracted drivers? Have you been guilty of texting while driving? I admit I was doing it once, and my son was in the car and he said, "Dad, what, you're texting while you're driving?" And then I realized what I was doing. I was like, you know, right, you're absolutely right. And I'm also setting a bad example here. So I stopped doing it. And from that moment on, you know, I'm very conscious about it. I'll admit occasionally when I'm sitting at a drive-through or at a stoplight, and it's something that I'm having an ongoing conversation, okay. But while driving down the road, no more. Because in a split second, like with that guy in the Volvo, in a split second, things can go wrong so quickly and so much damage can be done. Cars, you know, they can be replaced, but, you know, arms, legs, lives cannot. I was really annoyed with that lady today. And granted, it's not illegal in every state here in the US that you can't talk on your cell phone. It's not illegal to talk on your cell phone here in Ohio. It is illegal to text and drive, however. Either way, it still creates a situation where you're distracted. And you know what? I'll also admit that I often hit the drive-through and then the highway. And I'm sitting there eating while I'm driving down the highway. That's probably not the best thing to do either. So in some ways, I'm also guilty. And then where do you draw that line? How am I any better or different than anyone else? So I'm putting this out there to the group. I'm not trying to incite a riot here. I'm just trying to open up a discussion, a dialogue about this issue, which is ongoing. in our day of technological advancement. In fact, many vehicles these days, newer vehicles, come with provisions to tie your phone to the car or a truck, so that you can talk on the phone and it comes through the stereo system and you have your conversations that way. But I've also heard studies that say that that doesn't really help. That it's an attempt, it's a step in the right direction for sure, but they actually did studies and they said that people weren't any less distracted when they were driving. In fact, more so, because I guess they were relying on those systems more. So what's our solution here? I mean, we've gotten to a point where we have to be in constant communication with everybody, it seems. Some of us, not all of us. And we survived for years and years and years without any sort of communication devices in cars. I remember CB radios in cars. I go back that far. Sometimes you get a car and you'd put a CB in it and it was as good as a cell phone. If you needed help or if you needed just directions, assistance, things like that, you got on the CB, breaker 19, it's Eric the Car Guy coming at you. But now we have cell phones and all other sorts of devices to keep us distracted on those long trips. It's like you hardly ever hear anymore, "Are we there yet?" Because you're waiting to finish watching the movie that you started watching on the iPad, I guess. At least that's the way my kids have come about. Once again, throwing this out to the group. What do you think of distracted drivers? Are you guilty of distracted driving? And have you witnessed severe consequences because of that? Have you gotten a ticket? Have you been cited because of texting or talking while you were driving? What are your experiences? This is a discussion, people. You can do so in the comments below, but there will also be a link in the description to forum discussion about this over at ericthecarguy.com if you wish to participate there. All kinds of options for you. I said we were here to talk about stuff now, didn't I? That being said, if you have automotive questions, I would ask that you head over to ericthecarguy.com and use the many resources we have there to help you with those automotive issues. In fact, there's a welcome video to tell you about all those amazing things. In addition, if you wish to connect with me socially, I can be found on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, and I close each of my videos, including ETCG1 videos, with be safe, have fun, stay dirty. I'll see you next time.